Welcome. Good morning. Welcome and good morning. This is Love Morning. I am John, and this is a daily practice of gratitude and intention, and just remembering that we are fully qualified to be love ambassadors in the world. So I welcome you to step into that version of yourself. And if you're here, share a little gratitude. Say hello and say good morning so we can feel that we're connected and we are not alone as we go through this wild, wacky ride. Good morning, Gerbot. Good morning and welcome. I am feeling grateful for the birds that I can hear singing outside right now. Lovely. And I am grateful to be free of nerve pain today. I am grateful that I did not ruin Lisa's night with my flatulence. I actually left our bedroom because I knew that she had an early morning and sleep was important. And we went to bed early, and something was wrong with my gut. And I realized like the door was closed and it was disruptive. So I opened the door, tried to like use a pillow and air out the room as best I could. And then I came out into the living room so that whatever evil my body was producing would not asphyxiate my beloved. Good morning, Faith. Faith is grateful for the weather and to be here, sending love from Key West. What's the weather like in Key West? I imagine it's probably nice. It is sunny and gorgeous here, but they have an over 50% chance of rain tomorrow, which is a bummer because tomorrow is First Saturdays. So it is the day we do our big event and have tables and tables of donated clothes and food and things. And so if it rains, we can't put any clothes out because if the clothes get wet, then there's nothing we can do with them. We don't have like places to hang a bunch of wet clothes to dry them out. So if they get wet, we have to usually throw them away because they go back into plastic bags and they get moldy. So if it rains, we don't put any clothes out. So it will be a greatly reduced event tomorrow if it rains. Sunny in mid 70s all day and all night in Key West. I am feeling grateful. I guess it's gratitude that I'm having. I've been going through some real kind of introspections. I mentioned it yesterday. This video I've generally been in a state of trying to figure out what next. What do I want to be focusing on? What do I want to be spending my time on? I've got a number of projects that I'm consistently doing and not sure, where they're headed. What's the big end goal? Some things it doesn't matter. Like this practice, I think it's a practice. There's not a goal to it. The goal is practice. The goal is to have a part of the day, beginning of the day, one of gratitude and connecting with other people who are sharing gratitude and an opportunity for a little accountability and going, okay, who can I remind myself to be kind today, to be a good listener today, to know that no matter what I do today, I have the ability of living in purpose by simply being kind and giving and grateful. But there are other projects I'm like, what am I, like I am not producing the same kind of content that I used to because it doesn't get seen and people aren't looking for it. And so this video that I saw yesterday with Seth Godin was saying that you are not using Facebook to grow your business. Facebook and Instagram are using you to grow their business. And they are training you and pushing you to create content that encourages people to use Facebook and Instagram more. And it's true. I mean, you kind of the goal, you're creating content. You want to find something that kind of goes viral or gets a bunch of interactivity. And but even like when I had something that went viral, it didn't result in a lot more people becoming, following me and adding me. And I kind of have been realizing that I do in the back of my mind have this hunger to win the algorithm, to get people to see stuff, and what I really want is what I really want is not more interactivity on Facebook and Instagram. What I really want to do is, I want to make things that I am proud of and feel like they are helpful, and have them be seen by people, and have interaction and have conversations and dialogue around them. So maybe that doesn't mean that I spend so much time on Facebook, you know, and it makes sense on a today, because if I post something on Facebook, I get by far the most um, interactivity. But if I'm looking at a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, like, do I want to build my whole, like the life force, the creative force of my life to try to be as effective I can on Facebook? I don't think so. So it's like, well, like YouTube doesn't require short stuff, but somehow on YouTube I have lost all of my momentum and following. And even though I have 15,000 subscribers, most videos, only get 50, 60 views unless I promote it on Facebook and things. So I'm grateful, I guess, for this moment now where I'm kind of dissatisfied. And so I'm trying to go, well, there's another piece of it too, which is that I guess I could go deeper in this, but there's so much stuff happening with AI, and there's so many tools that are making creating content easier and easier and easier. And on one hand, that's kind of cool, except that means there's just going to be so much more, and the tools are going to help to tweak so that you can create content that works better for the algorithm. Like, I have a tool I've been playing with where I can take this video, this 40-minute video, upload it, and it will take the transcript, and it uses an algorithm and AI to try to figure out which clips of under 3 minutes, based on the content of those clips, which ones are most likely to go viral. And then it cuts the clip for me. It adds captions. Now I've found that it's helpful, and it's a good place to start. But even if I do that, it still takes a bunch of effort to make it into something that I like. But my point is that there's a gajillion people who are now making content, having the AI tools to maximize the ability to get it in front of people, and competing with each other. And it's like, I don't really want to be competing. I don't want to have that like salesy hunger. It's never been my vibe. I've always been like, I don't know, life is hard and confusing, and there's a few things that seem to work for me, and I'm going to share my struggles and my victories. And if that's a helpful thing for you, then awesome. And I'd like to hear what's going on with you as well. But that doesn't work with this system as well. I don't think, this algorithmic kind of stuff we've been going on. So I'm trying to take a step back and say, maybe there's a new thing that I start. Maybe I decide, you know what? I'm going to deal with break my addiction from connection and write. Even if I know that in the future no one's going to care, everyone's going to have, everyone's got AIs writing their books for you, and no one's going to care. But just before I leave this plane, it'd be nice to record a body of work. I don't know. But But that's where I'm at right now, is trying to decide, what do I want to do? What do I want to say? Perhaps my next chapter is a personal growth one. And I decide, you know what? I am still only a year into sobriety, and I'm only, I'm 9 months into a loving relationship. Maybe I just try to get good at those things, and then sometime in the future, those will be areas where I can be more of service. Or maybe I just said, why am I like, why? Well, I guess I know why, because it's what I've always done. I do feel like a part of who I am is in sharing. But maybe that is a self-defense mechanism. Maybe that is part tied into healing that I need to do. Maybe I get to a point where I just do my thing, and maybe I say, hey, I'm going to be at the beach every Tuesday, and if anybody wants to come and talk and share book ideas, and we'll do that. Um, I don't know, or maybe I decide to create visual art and break the addiction to sharing my life. I don't know. My good eye, Mark. This is my mug and my shirt match. This is the Hug Nation logo that I've got on my mug and my shirt. I'm a one-trick pony. Good morning, Al. Thank you. Good morning, Jobin. Good morning, Zoe. Zoe is grateful as ever for my fabulous partner taking such great care of me while I heal. Yay. Good morning, Bill. Bill says, I love you all, you beautiful humans and hug masters. Chris says, I'm grateful that flowers I sent to Finland for the anniversary of my girlfriend Laura made it there on the actual day. Nice. Gerbot is grateful for this practice. Yeah. Oh, nice to have you all here. Good morning, Jobin. Al pointing out that your content has more value than shallow Instagram dances. Not that those aren't fun. You are a force for love. Thanks. I appreciate that. Another thing that has been kind of battering me around is, like, when I began sharing things online more than like 25 years ago. Oh my gosh, yeah, 25 years ago. Over 25 years ago. There wasn't other people doing it. And I had a lot of experiences based on Burning Man, psychedelics, and Alan Watts' study, that I had a lot of things that were going on in my head and that were pretty new and funky to most people. And the internet has allowed everyone access to everything. And so now, like, the exponential growth of everything, like if you look at the way that dance progressed before the internet, so there would be some innovation, or anything, there'd be some innovation, and it would take years before people around the world saw this new move or this new aspect of different industries or arts. And now, somebody does something in New York, uploads it on Monday, and Friday there are people integrating that move into their routine, and they're adding to it. And so it's exciting, but it's also like, it's exhausting, and it's hard to keep up. And there's a few examples that have really been rattling me. like I keep seeing these like stunt people, and it's usually like some Red Bull sponsored person doing some stunt that is like a stunt on top of a stunt on top of a stunt, like kiteboarding through a swimming pool on top of a building, and then they jump off the side of the building and base jump. I'm like, what? It's like 3 stunts in one. Or I just saw something where a guy was being towed in to a massive wave surfing and wearing a suit covered in like a fire suit. So they lit him on fire as he's barreling a massive wave. Like, stunt on top of stunt on top of stunt. And the other example, there's this tattoo artist in Brazil who got more and more covered, and then they started doing, implants of like horn things, and then they, their eyes are colored in, their whole face is green. They cut off their nose so it looks like a skeleton, and then removed some of their fingers so they're like a creature, and it was disturbing. But I'm like, like how let's say you're a young kid growing up and you want to like be rebellious and do something crazy. Like I remember how when I pierced a single ear in high school, I almost got kicked out of my home. I was told not to come home until my parents found some resolution, and then they said if you come home, if you don't take it out, you're grounded during senior activity. I was 18 years old. Keep in mind. And then when I pierced a second ear, it was so crazy and so open to ridicule. Pierced my nipples. Oh my God, so crazy. Now, like, what would you have to do to be seen as edgy? And it goes in every direction. So, like, if I have some idea that we talk about in the morning here about vulnerability. If you do hashtag vulnerability on Instagram, there's probably 500,000 posts in the last week, people talking about a similar thing. And maybe half of those are AI generated. Who knows? So it's like, what is the goal? Where is their meaning and purpose? And I don't want to get caught in the need to like stay on the edge, because the edge is bananas. Lisa pointed out, and this is something that I resonate, is that I used to be really like, I thrived on the edge, the frontier of the internet, brand new in Burning Man, being a early person with colored pink hair, and now the edge for me is my personal edge, my inner edge of trying to find the places inside that are where walls that I am unaware of obstacles or patterns, grooves in my mind that I am bound by but unaware of. Like that's the frontier that we all have to explore. And so maybe that is the destination, is that frontier. And then maybe there is some value in exploring my personal frontier, that personal edge, and doing it publicly, as it helps others to identify with their own journeys of their own personal edge. That is a possibility of finding a place of purpose in a world gone bananas. But I don't know. I know it's got to have to do with love, and it's got to have to do with being authentic, and it's got to have to do with gratitude, and it's got to have to do with healing. But maybe it's in different directions. Maybe it's more in person. Maybe it's not have to do with online so much anymore. Maybe that tool is becoming clogged up, hard to be effective. Who knows? I say that as I'm speaking online, and I get so much from these gatherings, from these connections. There's a reason why these are always live, is because it is more than content creation. It is a practice that I like to do with fellow practitioners. So thank you for sharing your gratitudes and your hearts. Kirbot says, yo, dog, I heard you like stunts. Al is grateful for all of my good friends and family. Nice. Al also suggesting I light my earrings on fire. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think whatever it is, I need to light myself on fire, clearly. Mark pointed out that edgy now is no tattoos, which is, I get a lot of cred for having 0 tattoos, except for permanent eyeliner. I have tattooed eyes. Gerbot says 100% here for the personal edge. So maybe this is helpful. Maybe this is helping me get clarity. Ooh, Al's asking, is the Hug RV coming back? That is I'm glad and upset that you said that, because I have not visited the Hugmobile since the big rains. So it's been months since I visited the Hugmobile. I'm confident that it is moldy inside, and I don't know what to do. I'm pretty confident I'm not going to bring it to the burn this year. It's just I'm sure it will make it. It is a stressful process, and it is more stressful when I'm in a relationship. And like, we broke down on the way last year, no big deal. It got fixed, but it is an additional stress preparing for Burning Man, knowing that getting there and back may have additional adventures, or it can be extra exciting, but then I don't know what to do. Like, do I sell it? Do I dismantle it? I don't know. And is it even sellable? I don't even know. We're going to do a hug soon. Thanks for your patience as I am rambling today. Ooh, Gerbot says online is just a tool to connect us, to banish the tyranny of location. Yes, as I like to say, it doesn't matter where your feet are, it matters where your heart is. Oops. Dota. Jobin says maybe the RB does a stunt on fire. See, it's all coming full circle. The brainstorm is working. Yes. The Hugmobile, its fiery exit. I have a feeling in the old school Burning Man, I probably could have driven it out in the fly and lit it on fire. I'm ashamed to admit that I have thrown things into a burn barrel. They used to have burn, you could if it was very common to bring more stuff to Burning Man than you were able to bring home, and you would take your extra stuff, your extra wood, you would build something and then throw the rest of it into a fire. And I threw some things into a fire that, looking back, I was wrong. Those things should not have been turned into smoke that could enter the atmosphere, for sure. That is in my column of regrets. Good morning, Thalia. Thalia is grateful for my extra large coffee mug filled with my special morning blend and leftover pizza for Brecky. I like that kind of gratitude. I did a several day cut caffeine for several days. I wonder if I should confess why. Maybe I'll think about how public I want to be with my caffeine incident. Gerbot also says, oh, you could auction it off and use the proceeds to buy a new Hugmobile. I mean, I wonder what kind of value it has. I mean, I bought it for $3,000. Yeah, $3,000 in 2007. I've probably spent, $15,000 on it since then. New engine, fixing this, fixing that. But I also, I should see if I can pass smog. I do have more of my grandfather's ashes that I could use to create a Hugmobile too. But this is part of the whole big conversation, is I'm not confident I'm going to Burning Man this year. It's like, there's just a lot for me to figure out. I think I've started going down a path that maybe we'll visit on another day. Vesper, I'm struggling today, feeling consumed by being a business owner above all else. I opted to not go see my favorite artist last night, which is an indication that I'm choosing the business over expressing myself. So I'm finding myself mourning the loss of other facets of my personality. I'm grateful for my partner sticking with me through this because I have not been showing up in a relationship in the ways I would like. Well, that doesn't sound like it feels too good. But if you're open to my reflection on that, I think that there's a very common place. You know, the entrepreneurship, the making the very brave decision to do your own thing requires so much more commitment and so much more going above and beyond at times. And you're part of that is having experiences like you're having where like, oh my gosh, I'm out of balance. I had to choose the business over X, Y, and Z. And I think that it's important for you to be aware of that. But I think more important is to see how is that affecting thing over time. That being someone who is going to choose this business, which is the art project, your most important art project right now. Well, I should take that back because you, as you said, you don't want to let the relationship suffer, but you do. But if the relationship understands that what is required right now is an over investment of energy into the entrepreneurship, then I think that can be a really beautiful thing. It's that you don't want to fall into that, just expecting that to be what the way it is indefinitely, and having things like your self-expression and your relationship just being default secondary, because the relationship can actually be primary if within the context of the relationship, you're understanding that you have decided that this entrepreneurship path is the important project right now. You know, like when I'm at Burning Man, I'm generally, telling my partner, hey, my priority is Burning Man right now. That isn't saying that my relationship is secondary. It's understanding that I'm choosing for a period of time to value or to prioritize something. Now, that's a bad example because Burning Man's super fun, and entrepreneurship is super stressful. But I will just say, I am inspired by your courage, Vesper, and I wish for you strength and success. Any more last gratitudes before we have a hug and head off into our Fridays? TGIF. If anybody's in San Diego, we were going to have First Saturdays tomorrow. Jason just told me that looks like should be a super light rain, so we're still going forward. I mean, we're there no matter what, we show up. But as I said, sometimes First Saturdays is quite a reduced effort if it's raining. Thank you, Gerbot. And maybe that is something that I have been thinking about, is that I do enjoy like being present and listening, like kind of coaching type thing. I enjoy connecting with someone and just like, okay, this is like trusting my intuitive reflections on their situation and their experience, which is, I think is, experiences show me that I think I have some gifts in that realm based on a lot of personal experiences and observation and through a decades of surrendering, I am more connected to intuitive thought. I'm not totally connected to intuitive, like I walk outside and just kind of trust my intuition to lead me to where I'm going to go throughout the day. I don't have that kind of practice, but I do I speak without a plan every day. I just allow words to come out. And if there's an individual person or in a group, when I do like to do groups, there is, I do trust that whatever comes out based on the energy and thoughts and ideas and struggles of that person or group are pretty helpful. So that is a good reminder as well. Thank you. Janet, good morning. Janet is grateful for a breakthrough with a story I'm crafting. Nice. Oh, wonderful, Vesper. Love you so much. Speaking of Vesper and entrepreneurship and last First Saturdays, I got to bring a box of awesome donations of like super badass soaps and care packy type items, except like way nice stuff to give to people, which is so great. It's, someone who's hungry appreciates a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but it's so great to give someone who's hungry like a hot meal, and same is true with like someone who needs soap is fine with something, a extra bar of soap from a hotel, but how nice it is to give something that's just nice. Jobin says, I'm grateful for movies. How to Train Your Dragon still holds up. I'm grateful for the show Fargo. I didn't realize it was such a good TV show. I've been watching all the seasons, and some I've enjoyed more than others, but really fun storytelling. Carolyn reflecting what I said the other day about how sorry for your loss seems empty, but how I opened my heart to feel a little bit of what you're feeling was perfect and beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Because, if I'm going to be totally honest, what I feel when someone shares a struggle or their grief, I don't feel sorry for their loss. Like I totally, it's like saying, I'm sorry the sun rose. No, I'm not sorry the sun rose. If the sun rising is hurting your eyes, I'm sorry that you're feeling pain. And if whatever's happening is causing you suffering, I want to be open to understanding your human experience. But you're right, I'm not sorry for your loss and which is why it doesn't sound, it sounds like I'm reading a script of what I'm supposed to say. Steve said, I learned the term glimmer. It's the opposite of trigger. Glimmers are the moments in the day that make you feel joy, happiness, peace, and gratitude. Once you train your brain to look for glimmers, the moments will appear more and more. Testify. I love that. That is really the point of a gratitude practice, is to train your brain to start noticing glimmers. And when you can, vocalize it, write it down, tell someone. Like last night, I posted a picture of Lisa and I cooking, and I'd put on some goggles, and I just thought, I'm gonna take a picture. This is funny. And then I was like, we're listening to my friend's new SoundCloud mix. DJ Leif Lifetime has a new mix out. So I'm like, I'm gonna post a picture. I'm gonna tag Leif so he knows that we're sharing this experience. And the more that we are noticing glimmer experiences, noticing things of gratitude, sharing things of gratitude, there's a real beauty to that. Well, look at that. Without even meaning to, we just helped me find a little bit more a sense of purpose. Thank you so much. So wherever you are, give yourself a big old squeeze. And as you are appreciating your body, Also appreciate all the humans that are sharing this moment of awareness, this recognition that we're more alike than we are different, that we are connected, that we are all going through our own unique journeys, but they are tied together by some very inescapable human needs and desires. We're all figuring out our best ways to stay safe and find purpose and feel connected. So let's forgive ourselves when we get off track chasing those things, and forgive others when they might make choices that we don't understand as they're trying to do the same things. And let's feel connected in that grand human tapestry as we take a deep breath in and squeeze. Feel yourself squeezing me. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of you beautiful people, thanks for being here for this Love Morning, this Hug Nation, this exploration of meaning, purpose, and connection. Super helpful for me. Thank you so much. I love you. Have a beautiful day. And hello, Razor Blade. Thanks, everyone. Happy weekend.